Good morning, students. We will have a quick revision of what we have discussed in the previous class. We have been discussing data collection methods and instruments. So, if we see a quick review of that, we have different kinds of methods. First one is self-report method. In that, we use the data collection instrument as interview and self-answered questionnaires. So these two we have discussed already. The next one is observation method. In observation method, we use rating scales and checklist as a tool, and we have discussed all the types of rating scales and checklists, how we can use in the observation method. The next one is attitude scales. We have discussed three types of attitude scales which are commonly used: Likert scale, semantic scale, and semantic differential scale, and Thurstone. So in this, Likert scale is very important. The next one is biophysiological method, where you use instruments or labs for the research study. So that is in vitro and in vivo, that is inside the lab and outside the lab. And the next one is projective techniques. These are the techniques which helps to bring out the psychological aspect of the subjects. So when we have discussed a lot of projective techniques we use, and we have few more things, that is Q methodology and vignettes. We will discuss that. It is a short discussion. So Q methodology or Q sort, which has been started by William Stephenson, introduced Q method in 1935, which was a paper method, but now we have a Q sort method which is in computerized. So we have software designs for that. You can just put it and send it to the participants through mail. So Q sort procedure, it is nothing but the researcher will select a topic, and as per the topic he will bring out lot of statements or words or questions related to that topic, and he will prepare it lot of statements which is confirmed. We say it as Q set. This Q set or P set are called set of questions or statements prepared related to the topic. Once the Q set is ready, they will write it in a card, and they say it as Q deck of cards. So they will say it as Q deck. So all the statements or words will be written in a white card, and this is called Q deck. And what they do, this Q deck, they will give it to the participants, and the participants are expected to arrange it from the two bipolar adjectives, like I approve, I agree, disagree, I like, most dislike. So these kind of two bipolar adjectives will be there, and the participant has to arrange it in between these two. And what happens, this is the board, Q sort board, where they can arrange all the statements into these two extremes. And as like attitude scale, this score has been given like +4, +2, +3. So like that, as per the researcher's scoring system, he will put a score as per his convenience, and the participant has to arrange all this deck of cards as per his interest, and the researcher will go through and compare with the other people. So this is especially it is used in-depth assessment of any topic. We will go through now. The researcher will prepare a set of questions, as I said, which are called Q set or P set. Then they will write it in cards, which is called Q deck. And the number of cards is typically between 60 to 100. So you need a minimum of 60 statements or words related to the topic. That's why it is an in-depth study where you can go through a complete thorough study of one single topic. The participants are presented with set of cards, and the participants are asked to sort the cards along particular dimensions, that is approve to disapprove, most like to least like, highest priority, lowest priority. So he can arrange it as per the between these two extremes. Subjects typically are asked to place fewer cards at either end and more cards at the middle. So this is an example I gave, like asking cancer patients to rate aspects of the treatment, most distressing and least distressing. You all know that cancer patients undergo a lot of treatments from the start, like even scanning, diagnostic, consultation, everything is a distress for them. It's a struggle for them. And chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and a lot of other therapies are there. So you can ask the patients like how they feel, which one they feel it as less distressing and which one they feel it as most distressing. So you can compare and bring out what is the patient's feelings. So this is an excellent thing if you want to study in depth of anything. The Q-SORT methodology is the best one. Next we will move on to vignettes. This is not much important in nursing research, but nowadays people are started using this. It is a psychological method which is used in psychology. So vignettes are a brief description of events or situations to which respondents are asked to react. So it is nothing but simulations of a real situation or real events itself will be given, and they have to act to that situation. So that when you act or when you do a drama, automatically your inner attitude and beliefs comes out unknowingly. So that is the reason why we use vignettes in the research. So what happens is there will be a fiction based or fact based scenario given to you, and the respondents are asked to respond to it by a drama or expression, by a poem or writings or words. So some, because of that, the perceptions, opinions or knowledge about some phenomena comes out. So that is the use of the vignettes. The description, which can either be fictitious or based on fact, or structured to elicit information about respondents' perception, opinion or knowledge about some phenomenon. So if you want to bring the vignettes into the research study, so you should normally arrange vignettes from 4 to 10. So minimum you need 4 situations, maximum of 10 situations related to one single topic. Sometimes the underlying purpose of vignette studies is not revealed to participants. This is very important. You don't reveal the purpose of the study, because once you reveal, automatically Hawthorne effect happens. If you know that they are going to observe this part of the story or this part of the drama, then automatically your idea changes. For example, here I have given an example of a researcher interested in knowing the stereotypes of male nurse. So if you want to know how the male nurse act to the situation, okay, how the female nurse act to a situation. So these are all the two things. Especially we can see that when the patient has an emergency crash, or we can say cardiac arrest, the male nurses how they respond, female nurses how they respond. Of course there are difference. Male nurses will be strong enough and they don't get panic, whereas some of the female nurses, they become panic. So these kind of situations you can give, and you can see how the male nurses acts and how the female nurses. So what you can do is, each vignette the nurse would be described as a male half the time and as female the other half. So you will take 2-3 situations, like as I said, cardiac arrest, how the male nurse, how the female. So you will take few more vignette situations and you will ask the nurses to act. Every nurse should randomly selected to act like a male nurse and as well as female. So this is how the study goes. This is an example of that. So hope you understood. So vignettes are nothing but simulations or of real events are given, and the respondents are requested to act towards that situation. So you have to include 4 to 10 vignettes for a research study, and the purpose of the vignette should not be revealed to the participants. Hope you understood. Thank you for listening.